I'm up good. I got 2 cups of coffee in me. So I think we're going to have a good stream here. I'm going to stay really positive in this one today. I want to have this whole weekend start off on a very positive note. So I'm not going to argue with anyone. I'm not going to be mean to anybody in any way. I'm just going to ban anybody who's an obvious troll. I'm just going to get rid of them and just keep flowing. If they're malicious, if they're just a funny troll, I'll let them go. That's fair. Because there's 2 types of trolling. There's trolls who are funny as hell. And, some who are just malicious. And if you can be funny, then hey, man, you can stick around, dude, because I like a laugh as much as anybody. So, going to get this flowing. Cardio's doing much better today, man. I kind of whined a little bit through all of it yesterday. That leg day it was really hard, right? And so my legs were kind of hurting. Like it wasn't DOMS. It was just straight up hurting. I did not want to do that 2 hours of cardio. I had to break it up. But like right now, I feel really good. My legs feel good. We have a really good pace. We have good weather. We did have thunderstorms last night and a bit of a pour down, but it's okay this morning. It means I'm probably going to sweat, though, a lot doing this as soon as the temperature comes up another few degrees. But in the meantime, we're just going to flow with it, and we'll see what we get in here. It being an early Saturday morning, this is going to kick off really slow until it gets in people's feeds. So I'm just going to walk. We're going to do our thing, and we'll see who we get in here. But I think if I run it long enough, it'll still get views. If all these lives got even the views I got on that one the other night, 2 or 3 of these every day, that would be super helpful. That's nice, dude. So if someone can't say something positive, I'm just going to ignore them. But hit that like button for me, bro, while you're in here watching. And yeah, we're going to stay positive today. We're going to stay positive. Although I will clap back with people with some mama jokes. Because they do just type gay and be like, your mom is gay. All right, next. There we go. A couple people finally trickling in. And so again, having a good pace. My legs feel a lot better after a good night's sleep after that leg day. So I feel like this is going to be a nice, productive, fasted cardio. We'll burn through a little body fat and keep it rolling. But as soon as you guys get in here, remember to click like. If you're watching this after the fact, comment down under the video later. It's good for the outreach. But yeah, we're just gonna get this walking done. But I was happy with yesterday's leg training still, nonetheless. I was happy with it. But yeah, at this point, guys, I just got to get leaner. Like, I'm realizing at certain angles, even I see myself and stuff in the mirror, it's like I'm super big right now. I guess in terms of muscle. So if I just strip down, I think people will realize a little bit more because they're not realizing I'm over 220 pounds at 5'9". But I don't have a target weight picked. Morning, Jason. May the test be high and the blood pressure low. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Right? There we go. I agree with that, man. May the test be high and the blood pressure low. But what do we do to help with blood pressure, man? We eat a clean diet. We do cardio. Right? Also, hit that like button for me, guys. Come on, get those likes up. No, dude, I was never in the military. I don't know why anybody thinks I ever said I was in the military. I never did. So let me explain this to you. Like, to be special forces, you have to be in the military first. And then you go through selection. So I personally never served in the military. So obviously I can't be special forces. All right. Spartacus. Hey, bro. What's up, bro? What's up, Spartacus? So now that we had that educational talk, you've been corrected. No, I'm a dude who deadlifts and teaches people how to deadlift. That's pretty much more or less what I do. Yeah, it's definitely someone else. But I'm not going to go into all the troll lore or any of that or the backstory. I gave an apology for the minor fake Merc thing that I did over 10 years ago. I issued public apologies and explanations. And that's been a decade ago. So it's not like there's been a repeat of that. But I was just making it clear, at no point in there did I ever say or imply I was in the military. It was joking conspiracy stuff that I thought would be funny for outreach and publicity stunt, because I had also been drinking and was stupid before I became sober. So I did stupid stuff sometimes under the influence. And yeah, it didn't go over too well, right? Right? It didn't go over too well. But no, it was conspiracy theory stuff. It was basically, had anyone ever watched Alex Jones, they would have realized what I was doing. Right? But it got remixed by people and it got all changed, and what I had actually said got completely changed. No, dude. All right, but it's so far in the past. It just actually shocks me that anyone still references it at this point. It's like, come on, dudes. Like, if you cared enough to even know about it, you had to have seen my responses later. Love life. There you go, brother. Yeah, all good. We all done stupid stuff. We're only human. I done plenty of dumb things. Everyone has. Yeah, exactly, life. I mean, and it's a case of, it's something I got up and said in a video, like a 15-minute apology video about 7 or 8 years, whatever, how many years ago of it. I literally, in my apology, said it was the stupidest, most embarrassing and single worst bad choice I ever made in my entire life. Those were more or less, that's a paraphrase. But I actually said that, on camera with like 100,000 people who saw it, that it was the stupidest, most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my life, and it was literally the worst mistake of my life. And, and I think most reasonable people at that point move on and say, yeah, a guy got up and said a couple stupid things on camera, and then gets up to his whole audience and says, it was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Nothing else even close. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it did result in me getting swatted and the bomb squad having to show up in my place, though. They had to close my street down over it. Like we had a fake bomb threat. So I feel like I was sufficiently punished. When 250 pounds of fake bombs get mailed to your place with a threat, and the bomb squad gets called in and they close down your whole street. I think at that point, I think he learned his lesson, That was 9 years ago. Can training a muscle once a week with 10 sets work fine if you take long breaks? Yeah, I think so. I think that can work really well. But 10 sets for one muscle in a workout, you do need pretty long breaks. How much cardio do you do per day? Right now I shoot for 2 hours baseline, because I need to strip body fat down. I need to get lean. I need to get abs for the summer. I'm doing a lot of list cardio. Like, I prefer list because it doesn't interfere with my lifting. That way I can still train really, really hard for my 4 days a week. I can still do heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, all those things that I need to do as a strength athlete, without it really interfering. So I do just list. Plus list burns almost all fat calories, and it's just good for you. So that's what I'm doing in terms of cardio. So I'm lifting 4 days a week, and then we shoot for 2 hours of baseline cardio. So pretty much that's what my training is built around. I do about 12 sets of muscle group. Obviously some of it's more because, if we're counting that 12 sets, I'm not even counting, say, dips and bench towards the triceps, for example, right? So it's literally 12 sets. Like, I'm not counting any of that pulls towards my delts. I'm doing 12 sets for delts. I think I just really enjoy hitting a muscle once a week rather than twice. I just enjoy it better. Also, no, that's totally fair. And a lot of people do feel it's better on their joints and stuff. And I did a lot of the once a week for a while. I'm back to twice a week because really for me, at least on the neural drive and strength end, I do get a lot out of doing a 4-day upper lower. All right. But no, definitely 10 sets can work as long as the breaks are long. Because what ends up happening, otherwise you're into junk volume. Dudes be trying to take too short of breaks, and they're not recruiting any fast twitch muscle fibers on their final sets, like nothing. So you're not growing from it. Coach, what do you think about bicycle for lists? Hey, that's great. I have a vestibular disorder. So are we talking about you or are we talking about me? Obviously, list cardio is list cardio. Like, I don't think that there is a list that's necessarily better than another. List is list. You're doing list cardio, right? So that's so for you, it doesn't matter. It's whatever works for you in your life. In my case, I have bilateral Meniere's disease. I have literally no sense of balance. So to me, the idea of riding a bike, the injury risk, when I could just walk and get the same cardio would be really dumb. Like, why? Why would I do that? You know? But for you, if you enjoy the bicycling, I still think bicycling, you're still more likely to get hurt than walking. But I mean, car accidents, I mean, stuff happens. You got to have a place to ride it. But it's certainly nothing wrong with it. It totally works, right? Like, why wouldn't it work? You could use training wheels. Yeah, or I could just walk. That's another option. So instead of making it really complicated and making it more silly and goofy and putting training wheels on, I could just walk. That's also an option. You know, the same thing. I can do my recumbent bike when I'm inside. No, I'm in both. I heard bicycle has less interference than running. Yeah, it does. But yeah, I did not think about your ear issues, but perhaps it's be possible with some special bikes. So now we're getting over into all this special bike. So you see what I mean? Or I could just walk. That's also an option. And then I don't got to buy any special equipment. I can just walk. But no, I mean, but inside I do the recumbent bike, so I get those benefits. But when I'm outside, like, I just like to walk, just a nice brisk walk. How do you remain motivated, exercise on the days you don't feel like it? What do you mean? You just do it. That's the problem. Okay, here's you're not gonna like this. As a coach, someone who's broken state records in 2 weight classes, takes training seriously. What do you mean motivated? Why do you need to be motivated? So the same thing I would say to people, are you motivated to go to your work every morning? Like, I assume you have a job. I mean, this is part of mine because I coach and do social media. But so when you get up in the morning, are you motivated to go to work every day? Every single day, you're motivated. You're super hyped and you're like, dude, I want to go work. I'd say for most people, other than people who have their absolute dream job, probably the case, but you do it anyways. Motivation is not a factor. You shouldn't need it. You just do it. You don't have to feel good about it. All right. Hey man, do you think about a push-pull leg split with an extra shoulder and arm day? I mean, you could. I mean, I've done that with some of my clients in vlogs, push-pull legs with a shoulder, right? Walking and squats and deadlifts is good enough for lower body health. Well, I do other leg stuff, but I mean, yeah, in my case, that's why I do all this, because I'm squatting and deadlifting twice a week, dude. I'm squatting and deadlifting twice a week. I'm not over here trying to do HIIT. That would interfere with my training, but I can walk for 2 hours, you know, and still squat and deadlift the next day. True, I was afraid you would say that. I want magic words. Yeah, homie, there's no magic words. It's called, we develop discipline through our habits. All right? Habits create discipline. Discipline carries us when motivation wanes. Most of the time, I'm not motivated to train. There are days I don't want to get untrained. Dude, there are days when I don't want to work out at all, and you guys see me get up and pull 3 or 4 reps with 550 on a deadlift. I didn't even want to touch a barbell that day. But you know what? It's what we do. Like, and I might love training, but I don't love training every time I do it. Hey, believe me, there's days I do not want to touch a heavy ass barbell. I'm like, yeah, but this is what I have scheduled to do, dude. I got to do 550 to 1 rep in reserve. This is what I have written down for me to do today. So we just have to do it. I don't like working out, it hurts. Well, but I'm gonna tell you, you need to reach inside. You're not gonna like this. Here's coach. You need to look at yourself. You need to look at your inner bitch, and you need to slap it across the face and go, what's wrong with you? And then get in and go train. Sometimes you got to push that inner bitch down a little bit. I have to do it myself. You guys see me do it on camera. I get a little, you see that bitchy tone in my voice coming up sometimes. And man, I really don't want to go do this, you know? And you got to quell that. I'm going to watch your workouts for motivation. There you go. What about overtraining? My job is so stressful, can't sleep at night. So the problem is lack of sleep. No, overtraining is real. So you have to work on your sleep hygiene. Again, I got coaching slots open. I also do consultation calls. Look, so if you guys know that I sell a lot of these calls and streams, I sell a lot of them in these streams. Facebook's listed under every video. Hit me up on Facebook, book a 1-hour call, and I will sit down with you and we will discuss sleep hygiene strategies to get your mindset correct, to sleep around a stressful job, to get your sleep so that you recover from your training. All right. Would you consider eating a 10 of Boston beans? No. How about no? Is lifting easier for you now that you don't do blue collar work? No, because I'm older. Like it wasn't that hard back then. I'm 48, man. I can tell you right now, getting under a heavy barbell is harder than when I did hard work, in my 20s and would lift. Like, it ain't the same. What is the inner bitch is some warning about something going wrong? Well, sometimes it is, but there's a difference between that of actual real caution or pain versus me going, it's just that, you know what I'm saying? Like you start talking, you hear that little bitchy tone in your voice coming up. And you got to give yourself a little pep talk. Nice, we'll check that out, bros. Thanks. Like if your body telling you something. But that's the thing. What's your body telling you? Also, hit that like button, guys. How do we have 10 people commenting and only 4 likes? Come on, hit that like button for me, guys. Come on, get those numbers up. That will get more people into here. The more likes you guys give, the more feeds this hits. So it helps the outreach of the stream. But it's one thing to have pain. So yeah, if you're getting unusual pains, then sure, right? But just that I don't want to train, or I don't want to do this exercise is hard, Appreciate it, Scott. Always hitting that like button for me. So Allie says, hey brother, what's up, Allie? But we just have to go get it done, dude. That's the thing. We can't stand around and let lack of motivation or any of that. You just got to push that down. And also, your lifting shouldn't really hurt. I mean, yeah, my legs were hurting yesterday after leg day trying to do all that cardio, but they're fine today. I don't have any DOMs, but it was just hard to push through all my cardio later yesterday. But your training shouldn't hurt. Like, why is your training hurt? I mean, serious question. Like, you guys see me, bang out 3 reps or something with 315 on a pause bench flat back, or, I'll do 5, 6, 7 reps of 4, 5 on a squat. Do you think that hurts? That doesn't hurt, and I'm 48. Like, what's wrong with your training? So if you're hurting, had a fatigue management problem, you're doing something wrong with your form, maybe your diet's bad. Like maybe you have too much inflammation in your body because you don't eat a good diet. But the training shouldn't hurt. I mean, it's going to be uncomfortable, especially certain hard sets like stretch position movements taken to failure or very close to failure, 0 reps in reserve. Okay, that is uncomfortable, but it doesn't really hurt unless it's incline curls. What do you need to get abs for the summer thing, getting back? I'm not a bodybuilder. Like, bodybuilding is a form of competition. No, it's just good. It'll be good for my business, right? Good for my business, good for health. Like, being leaner is generally healthier, and I am 48, right? And my body fat has drifted up a little too high this year. I mean, by normal people standards, I'm pretty dang lean. To the average person, that's why I laugh when I put my Facebook has a lot more gen pop than fitness people on that one. So to them, they're like, what are you talking about? You're like super lean. I have friends who say that. Like they don't get it because they're not fitness people. They're like, what are you talking about, dude? You're ripped. But to the lifting world, I'm not. So we have to understand that difference. Whereas realistically, if I lost 15, 20 pounds of body fat, it would be good for business. Makes sense? Mixing up different training modalities, I guess, where some risk comes from. Yeah, that can sometimes. Trap's looking freaky. Appreciate it, man. All that rowing, all the rowing and deadlifting. They'll probably blow up a lot since I'm doing kind of the slight bit of cheat rows now. Those hammer my traps. And now I'm doing stuff like rear delt raises together with it. My traps will probably come up a little bit. Are you holding the extra water weight from the increased cardio? Yeah, no. I still haven't lost any weight. I'm not down a single pound doing 2+ hours of cardio a day yet. So, and it'll whoosh all at once. So what will end up happening, I feel like I'm almost gaining muscle. Like I'm thicker in certain places. I'm like, really? Am I getting an anabolic response? I think it's just muscles holding more water. Like my calves and stuff are literally bigger. Like I can see them bigger. My quads look bigger. Like when I look down at them sitting down working and stuff. So yeah, I always gain weight as soon as I add a bunch of cardio. Like I've gained as much as 10 pounds before once when I added a bunch of cardio. So that's just me. But it eventually will whoosh down. Jason, I need a lot of light warm-ups. So that's why don't you need a lot of warm-ups? That's because I'm in shape and I'm used to lifting. I just don't need them. Like I need maybe one warm-up. I mean, I warm up a little if I'm going to squat and bench. I'm not going to lie. I do so let's say I'm going to bench 315 for a top set. I'll usually do 5 or 10 reps with the empty bar. So, I mean, I'm warming up. Then I'll do like a rep with 135. We'll do 1 rep with 225. So I'm doing some light warm-ups. And then I'll grab whatever with the 315. I don't like to warm up on deadlifts. They mess me up. I like to do 1 rep, maybe 2 reps before I go all out. But I did that at a meet before. I didn't warm up for that last state record. I just walked out and took my opener without warming up at like whatever 508, it's 230 kg, and then I hit a state record on my 2nd rep. Whose physique you compare yourself to? I don't know if I have that. Frank Zane. So if you want me to talk ideal, what would be my ideals? Where would I love to be? Like I would see somewhere between Frank Zane and Reg Park would be my ultimate where I would love to be. I don't know that I'll get there, obviously. But, if I were to talk the ideal. But at this point, I just need to lean out for any of that to test some stuff a little better. Like I have a pretty good idea of where I'm at with my structure and muscle. But I have to just get the waist way smaller. I've got to strip fat down. I got to lose like 6 inches off my waist. By the way, my like button does not work for some reason. I don't know why it's not working, homie. Oh well, your stats line up with Frank Zane so the haters can. Well, I don't know about that, dude. Let's be realistic. At my current body fat, to compare me to Frank Zane, it's not really a valid comparison. Yeah, yes, 179 Frank was pretty big. So let me just lean out and let's kind of see where we land. I need more tricep and more rear delt a lot though, inside delt. I really need more tricep as I get leaner. Like that also, like I said, the whole side to rear delt area. But that could be also body fat. My delts will probably pop really well once I'm leaner. Do you have a God? I'm not really sure what the God was. That's the dude with the red thing across his eye. I haven't video gamed in a long time. All right. but I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I get that from a lot of people like, dude, you look strong and powerful, look, which I train that way, so you should see that it should be that way. But realistically, I would like a little more aesthetic, so that means I need to trim down leaner, see where we're at. But I definitely have the power look. Afternoon coach, listening while driving. So no questions from me. Much love. Hey, Callum, but you're a regular in here, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for chiming in. Hops me a like. I need to leave. See you later, coach. Hey, take care, bars. I'll catch you in here next time, homie. But we just going to keep this walk going. If I look like you, I would feel happier. Hey, man, but all our goals change, you know. And I get that. I get a lot of people who hate on me for a lot of it, but I also get other people who are like, dude, I'd love to look like you. Like, you look strong as hell. So, you know, and that's cool. But I'm also now looking at, it would be good for business if I do trim down, get a little more aesthetic. And we also have to look at, I'm 48 years old. I'm like sitting at 222 pounds right now, you know. Is that really ideal for the long game? Because I can still be strong lighter, you know. Dude, I could be strong as hell at 198, you know. So we do have to look at that long game. Got to look at that long game. And I get annoyed at some of these guys, some of my regulars who do come in and are like, oh, there's no reason for a man to be under 15% body fat. It's just bad for you. And they're like 22% themselves in it. And it's like, dude, and they're middle-aged guys and they lift heavy. And it's like, bro, that's not healthy. And no, you can't make that argument. Do you track your steps? Nope. Long game, worry about weight and heart health. Yeah, I worry about weight, heart health, all that stuff. Like, I don't worry about cancer, diabetes, any of that. I'm not prone to any of those, and I'm super active, and I don't have a lifestyle that could cause either one. Plus, there are no cancer genes in my family, like zero on either side. Like, I don't have any. Everyone I've known who had cancer was married into my families. Like, none of my family members, and I have massive families, ever get cancer. So, but heart health, big one. So it is entirely heart concerns. Like, let's be realistic. My family history and my lifestyle in general, unless I die in an accident of some type, it is going to be heart disease that gets me. Like, I can guarantee that. It's not going to be cancer. It's not going to be anything like that. It is going to be heart disease. Right? Heart disease killed my mother when she was younger than I am now. My father's had 4 heart attacks. His father died at 55 of a heart attack. So, you know, realistically, what's going to get me? So, me at this point saying, yeah, I'm 48, body fat's drifted up a little, weight's up a little bit again. Let's do a bunch of cardio and lean out. It would probably be a wise idea. Just a commitment you're putting to for training is amazing. You're putting in some work. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. You know, but so yeah, we have to look at those things and go, that is ultimately what is going to, and I know that, I accept that. All right. Almost guaranteed, unless it is something not health related, I will die of heart disease. That is what is going to kill me one day. So if we're going to play the long game, I do need to be going, let's trim down leaner. Let's up the cardio. Let's lose a little body fat. Right? Let's look further into some of the technology. So I've even looked at my diet going, I need to be very serious about atherosclerosis. I can't mess around with low carb stuff and add a bunch of milk fat, even though milk fat doesn't seem to cause it. You know what I mean? Play the long game. I need to keep my saturated fat super low. I need my LDL to stay low. I'm at a point where I can't really afford to accumulate more atherosclerosis, since I know that is what is going to kill me one day. You know, so I think in those terms with my diet. I think in those terms with the cardio. And I have to. How many of my contemporaries are dead or had heart attacks from my generation of YouTubers? Who really going to be the last man standing is going to be me and Chris Jones. We pretty much are. Uh, you had a checkup. I'm going to replace carbohydrate, chocolate for fruit. Fruit is nice. Well, yeah, fruit's perfectly fine. I know, I mean, I don't publish my stuff, but yes, I know where all my numbers are. Um, but definitely my LDL was going up when I was doing lower carbs. It's like, damn it. And when I do the other, it's really, my lipids look really good, all things considered, considering I'm mildly enhanced. When I do the really higher carb and only eat clean fats, my blood work looks so much better. Any updates? You know everything I know. You probably know more than me because I haven't looked at anything to see what he's doing. I know he took all his podcasts down. Last time I talked to him was months ago. I asked him what's going on, and he said he wasn't planning on doing any more podcasts in the foreseeable future. And that was the last chat we had. That was, I bet, 4 or 5 months ago, 3 months, something like that. So you know everything that I know, if not more. Right? But that was unfortunate because that was a fun little podcast. But he took all of them down. So, you know, it happens. Yep. Oh man, the views have dropped a little bit. Let's get some likes up, guys. Get more views flowing in here. Although when I run these long, they end up with good views anyways. I'll see it go up and down, but then the net result tends to be okay. You know. There we go. More people coming in. All right, making good time here. Definitely making good time. Sun coming up though. I really want to get more of these done as much as I can so that I don't have to do the bike as much. I enjoy the walking more than the bike until it becomes a problem with connection and too much sunlight hitting my phone. But when it's good like this, I try to get as much in as I can. All right. Man, all the comments died out. The last one's been the modern day Winston Churchill, and everything kind of died. But the upside, at least we are getting good pace on this. We're burning through hopefully some body fat with this much brisk walking this early. But yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd love to get 2 hours in fasted today. But between other work I've got to get done and bathroom breaks, that's hard to hit. Do you like walking in the heat or the cold? I don't like walking in the cold at all, dude. I hate walking in the cold. Keep in mind, even though I've lived in some cold places a little bit, I have spent the overwhelming majority of my life in Texas, central to East Texas. I tolerate heat better because I've dealt with it more my entire life. Positive vibes, man. What you up to today? Positive vibes, man. So I'm up here taking advantage of the good weather this early this morning. So started my walk at like 6:20 a.m. Getting a fasted walk in. You know what I mean? Burn through some body fat. Love to listen to some podcasts telling them how it is, right? So yeah, man. But that's what I said at the start of this. I actually said I'm gonna stay really positive in this one. I'm not even gonna engage trolls at all if they come in. I'm just gonna get rid of them and just move on. I'm gonna stay I want positive today. I want to start my weekend off on a good vibe, on a good note. You know, do what we got to do. All right. But yeah, the weekends are definitely important for me with this, with the cardio, because I don't train, so I can come in and just focus on cardio. I can do it all fasted. Works out really well in the grand scheme of things, you know. And I'd love to, like I said, I'd love to get 2 hours in this morning fasted, but it is easier said than done, you know, because I've got to get it before the sun gets too bright, because the phone messes up. From I'm in Canada, miss your breakfast videos. I'm gonna say this politely. I only did the breakfast videos a very, very, very short period of time. I did not like them or enjoy them. I did it because fans wanted it. Like, I'll be honest, I felt really uncomfortable and awkward eating on camera. Like, it made the videos so unenjoyable that I almost quit doing any videos. Like, it was just really weird. Very I don't know about homely. They were awkward as fuck to me. Like, I didn't like them at all. Are there benefits to walking before eating when doing intermittent fasting? Yeah, you burn through more fat in theory. I do all my lifting fasted, by the way. I don't eat before I train. Yeah. Well, it's not just the eating on camera, it's talking while eating on camera. But people requested it, and I did it, and I'm like, yeah, I really didn't like doing it. Again, so awkward and weird. And I thought it was, how do I put it? I almost felt like anyone who said they liked it was just trolling the shit out of me. Because I can't imagine anyone finding that enjoyable. So, how long after you wake up do you wait to lift? I don't have a set number. So if I gave you a number, it would be a lie. I'm trying to lift earlier now because it's getting hotter, so schedule is changing. But I mean, if I get up and start lifting, whatever, let's say 6:30 or 7 a.m., well, I can't have been up too dang long, you know? All right. Reminded me of eating breakfast with my mother. What? Have a good day. Cheers, Jason Masterson. Hi, brother. BB. What? So you too. All right, this guy's going to just spam. But you know what? A little bit of spamming. As long as he doesn't crowd the whole chat. I have to ban them when they do it 20 times because I can't read the other comments. But otherwise, if they just spam a little, it's okay. What in the hell is the excitement about the sugar diet? There isn't. It's just a couple of clowns who are scam artists on their diets promoting it. And I thought it was crazy how many people defended it. Like, if you saw the video I did on it, did you notice people came in and defended it and got angry at me? Imagine being such a sheep follower that you're too crazy, ultra low carb, anti-carb, carbophobic zealots who've made a lot of money pushing that, right? Then they switch to the sugar diet nonsense just again to make money, draw publicity for a crazy fad diet, right? Why would you expect better of Mark Bell? What do you mean? How about the guy who invented the goofball ass slingshot? Talking about the Mark Bell that Louis Simmons fired as one of his coaches because he said he wasn't a good coach and didn't understand the information. That Mark Bell, who then did a whole crazy war on carbs, carnivore zealot for years. So what do you mean you expect more? Is literally what I expect from Mark Bell. Funniest advice I was giving people was the peanut butter and banana squished together. That was B-shred. That was B-shred, right? So let me ask you the question, Richard. Why would you expect better of Mark Bell? It is literally what I expect of Mark Bell. Sugar diet, what the fuck? I didn't see that one. Oh, dude, it's the thing. So Cole Robinson and Mark Bell are out pushing the sugar diet. They're eating nearly zero fat, lean protein, and they're living on fruit and candy. By getting all their calories from fruit and candy to get ripped and nearly zero fat. I don't remember what he said you make more gains, but no, he was talking about it's a good snack for getting shredded, you know. He was making little sandwiches. Like, he literally on camera was taking the banana, cutting it into slices and then sticking peanut butter between it and making little sandwiches. Like, are you serious, dude? Well, yeah, also including high fructose corn syrup because they're eating candy. And I had people defending it. Oh yeah, well, how do you expect them to get all their calories? You're gonna get it all from rice. And it's like, you can't get all your calories from rice. Like, come on, guys. These are not endurance athletes. And they're comparing it to endurance athletes, but it's like they're lifters. These guys aren't doing marathons. They're not doing triathlons. And even then, Those guys all add fat. Does anyone really think the serious endurance athletes who are winning are doing all sugar? You think they're not adding fats? Come on. So people are crazy. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're defending it. Well, no, they're not doing it to get jacked. They're doing it to get ripped. So they're like, you eat almost no fat, you know, and then do all the activity. But then when I say that, people get mad at me, right? So that's the crazy thing. I get up and I point out that based on the current research, you do not convert carbohydrates, including sugar, to subcutaneous fat. Zero, none, not a drop, not in our species. Humans do not do it. I say that and I catch hell for it. These clowns do it and then they get more famous for it. I'm like, where's all my haters at? And the funny thing is the same people will be like, well, you gained a little body fat this year. How did you gain it then? From eating fat. I was doing all that whole fat dairy. Remember? Right? and throwing extra peanut butter and stuff in when I was doing a little lower carbs. So yeah, I literally gained it from eating fat, you know? That's because that is how it happens. Yeah, why do you get love and you get hate? You're always going to get some of both, man. I'll check it with the steak, potatoes, and spinach. That's not a bad approach. As long as it's a relatively lean steak, I don't see an issue. Within reason. I mean, depending on... Always things you have to remember with the amount of steak is, are you having elevated LDL or not? So if you're eating X amount of steak, you're healthy, fit, your LDL's in a good range, carry on, right? Oh, why did they get love? Oh, because I have real haters. You know, oh, I'm one of the most criticized people in the industry. But, you know, I did that to myself originally by standing up against the industry. And the whole hate campaign was created because of my supplement stance. And that will follow to the end. Is it saturated fat from chicken thighs? Fine. Okay, it's not the source. You're still dealing with stearic acid. Okay, it's the content and so it's like, no, I mean, a chicken thigh is no different from the red meat in regards to that. Is your LDL elevated or not? I didn't even know you had hate like that. Yep. Everyone has haters. Sometimes it's just banter, though. Sometimes it is just banter without feeding energy into it. I have full-time stalkers who literally make hundreds of accounts who obsess over me 24/7 for like a decade. I'm their whole life. And yes, I've had to have police involved. Yes, I've had to get the FBI involved, et cetera, et cetera. But let's not feed into that. All right. Let's feed on positive goals, motivation. All right. So that's what it's about. How do I filter out other channels every time I look at YouTube? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how YouTube feed works because I don't use it. All right. So that's kind of part of the problem with YouTube. YouTube does not enforce its policies, right? On Facebook, I don't have any of these problems. YouTube is the only platform I deal with this on, where people can make hater stuff and they leave it up. On YouTube, those people get shut down so fast. And then it affects their main accounts, which are done under their legal name. So it costs them something, like their ability to use Facebook if they're not careful. Tell him to stop mowing. Well, it's just the street I'm walking down, dude. I'm in the suburbs. Lawn mowing and leaf blowing is like an obsession here. You know, that's not going to happen. Like, someone is going to be mowing or leaf blowing on some street near me pretty much from sun up till sundown this time of year. Grass has to be cut. It might rain soon. Yeah, it rained last night. We had a big storm. Thunderstorm rolled through early evening. So, yep. Yeah, could we not drop all the goofy Delray misfits? Hey, dude, those people are all gone for the most part. You don't need to keep carrying on that nonsense. It's not mentally healthy. All right. I get it, you got the Jay Masterson name, but still, man. You know, I don't think people grasp that with me. Like, I see that whole shoulder of culture around that is weird. Like, I think it's just weird. Me personally. Are thunderstorms quite frequent where you are? Yes. That rain must have made it all the way to me in Oklahoma. It might have. Cutting grass is a rewarding way of burning calories. I enjoy it. Not me, I'm allergic to grass. I don't enjoy it. I pay somebody to cut mine. You know, unless I want to live on Benadryl. I saw the biggest hail in history when I lived in Texas. It was bigger than softballs. I don't know about softball. I've seen some golf ball size definitely here before. Right? We get some interesting weather. So I would describe most, at least the eastern half of Texas. I don't really know about West Texas. It's dry there. So different. It's a completely, it might as well be a different country. Very hot, very humid, with crazy precipitation between. We get tornadoes, we get hurricanes, we get hailstorms. And when it's not doing those, it's hot. All right. So that would sum it up. But again, that's this region. That obviously doesn't apply to the other 100 billion miles of Texas. Just like the song we all know that everybody knows, right? People don't know this. Yeah, they do. The whole world knows this. It's famous. A song called Miles and Miles of Texas, right? Everybody knows this song. I didn't see a car. What are you talking about? Do you think I stop and look at every car that drives by? I have no idea. I didn't even see a car. I see about 15 of them right now, all parked. Are you talking about one I walked by? Did I accidentally get a truck in the camera that I walked right by? It was called a pickup truck. It's a larger than average vehicle that had a bed in it that you put stuff in. Have you seen those strongman competitions where they pull planes with a rope? Yes. I think the trains is better than the planes though, dude. Trains is cooler. Or when they pull fire engine. Planes is kind of lame, man. I want to see a dude pull a train. Right? I've never played any GTA. I don't video game at all. I've told you guys, people don't like this. I think as a man, video gaming is counterproductive. It will interfere with your productivity as a man. I haven't gamed in years. I have no desire to be, but I've never played the GTA. So, all right, so when I did game, let me be very, very clear. If it didn't have swords and magic, I didn't play it. Very, very straightforward. No swords, no magic, no dragons. I didn't play it. Not interested. All right. Astute point, Coach. Coach, are you more medieval leaning in your gaming preferences? Yeah, fantasy. Definitely fantasy. I have an enormous collection of fantasy novels too, actually. I got them boxed away. I didn't end up putting the whole shelf back up for that when I moved. So they're all in storage, but I probably have 300. Coach, what's your thoughts on strongman excluding the mass downstairs conditioning? I don't really fully understand your question. What thoughts are you looking for? I don't like when people ask, what are your thoughts? Because they're looking for something specific, and your thoughts is a very vague term. Make sense? What does Jay keep deleting? I look down, he's deleting messages. Do I need to ban him, guys? Is he trolling? All right. Two people asked me what's my favorite manager. So Callum, I'm going to need you to be specific. What are you looking for with your question? I mean, do you want me to just give my general thoughts? It's kind of a cool sport, a little higher risk than powerlifting. I probably wouldn't do it with a vestibular disorder at my age. But I think it's a cool sport, good strength sport. I think it brings something different. So that's my thoughts, I guess. Favorite fantasy novel. How do I put this? It's not because it's necessarily the best. It's not even the best from that author. Because I have like 30 or 40 of his books. Sort of Shannara. And it's more of because it was one of the first really big novels I read when I was much, much younger. Right? It's, early teens, late or adolescence or whatever. So because of that, it has kind of a fond place for me. And I have a giant big version of it on the shelf. So Sort of Shannara by Terry Brooks. And again, let me be clear, it's not that it's that good of a book. It really isn't. I've read a lot better novels. Oblivion Remastered just got released. That's yeah, but I don't video game. I played the original Oblivion, but I don't video game anymore, so I'm not going to play it. I mean, I still have Skyrim for the Xbox laying around, but I don't play it. All right. All right, we just hit an hour. So we just hit the 1 hour mark. We'll run it a little longer though. Sun is coming up though. That's gonna really interfere with my next one of these outside. Because I'm gonna need to do another one. And I'd love to get another one of these in fasted this morning. It's gonna be a problem. I just worry the sunlight because it blocks my stuff out, but I do need to go in. I need to sit down for a minute. I need to pee. I got a couple things I need to get on, I collect books too, but all genres. Very hard to find the space though. Yeah. I get that peppermint. You're in the UK too. You guys have less space. It's in general. I have less space in general. So whether you think it's safe to compete in, whether strongman style training or even training events can cross over to, that's again, yeah, a lot of it's just weighted GPP, it's heavy GPP, so of course it'll carry over to other sports, yeah. But strongman isn't, how do I put it, strongman events are exercise, okay? Strongman events themselves it's a sport built around GPP. It's a sport where they said, hey, let's take a bunch of GPP work and just make it really heavy. Well, GPP in general is good for most sports. Makes sense? So, but do you need to train at strongman style or should you just do the GPP? Do you see the difference? You could do the same sort of stuff they do for conditioning without doing it literally training for strongman. Jason, bar below the chin on overhead press, legit range of motion. Yeah, as deep as you can go. If you can, without rotating the shoulders, if you can touch the clavicle, then do so. But a lot of people don't have the mobility to do that. Not without that internal rotation of the shoulder. So just be aware of that. All right. In America, that's too vague. I'm already going to tell you, when you say in America, I don't even need to see the rest of the question. Think of America as about 12 different countries. All right. Is it normal to hang out your washing to dry outside we do in the UK? No, it's not normal. Was that a windmill you just passed? No, it was a tree. The fuck are you on about, dude? A windmill? I'm turning around looking, going, what? Dude, I'm walking under trees. Have you lost your mind? Ideal pull-up range of motion. Stretch at the bottom. So are you talking to build muscle, or are you talking about to perform a pull-up in some sort of pull-up competition? So for building muscle, stretch at the bottom, go as high as your scapula do while I'm pinching together. Don't disengage that to swing higher if you're trying to just gain back muscle, right? Now, if your goal is to make them count in some sort of pull-up competition, they'll probably want you as high as possible. So you have to learn to swing over and disengage your lats. I remember you from back in the golden days of YouTube fitness. Used to be cool with Chelsea lifts. She just kind of disappeared. No, her and I did some collab work. We used to chat a little. And no, it wasn't like that. She's married, by the way. So dudes who are like, oh, I've got some of that. I'm like, she was married. So, actually, I was married at the time. So it wasn't like that at all. She just disappeared. She just completely fell off. I don't know what happened. Hey, Francis, chin clearing the bar is an arbitrary thing. So you're looking at what is the lats doing. So work the lats through their full range of motion. The chin clearing the bar is completely arbitrary in the range of motion. It has no bearing on what's happening at the joint. Because literally your grip width, your arm length, your mobility all affect that. Right? Someone with a long ape index is going to actually be much lower when the lats reach their full range of motion. So if you got 3 extra inches of arm length, it's going to be 3 inches lower. All right, call them out. Call McDonald's machine shakes repair what? Don't have to clear his bar set. Okay, makes sense. So again, you're looking at work your lats through your lats full range of motion. But external markers are not going to tell you where that happens. I'm not going to discuss that at all. All right, guys. I am going to wind this down, though. I need a break before my next cardio. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.